So how's the squad as a whole going to go that Pim has picked, and what do you make of that squad?
I think it's like Maury said, Craig Moore said that it's no surprises. I don't think there's been any surprises really. The important thing for us is that we have our 13, 14, 15 best players fit and ready to go. That includes Timmy Cahill, Harry Kuehl. If that happens, then we've got a good chance like we did last year. But I don't think as we get into the bulk of the squad that we have as good a squad, as good of depth as we had last year. So
no, definitely not. The 2006 side was definitely a better side.
Is there depth in the keepers? What do you make of the keepers that he selected, Zeljko? You can run the rule over this one for us.
Yeah, I think it was a tight call because I would have thought my keepers were Galekovic and Federici with Schwarzer, obviously. They've taken Brad Jones, who's had a decent season. I think just looking at the selection process, they're probably looking at for the future with Federici and Brad Jones to fight out that position. But not saying Eugene Galekovic can't fight his way into that as well.
Defenders. Beecham a surprise?
Beecham maybe a surprise. I wasn't involved in some of the games, and really maybe Speranovic missing out again. Colosimo, they're the surprises really. But in saying that, we know that Lucas Neill's going to be partnering Craig Moore in the centre of defence, and you're going to have Chipperfield on the left and Wilkshire on the right. So as long as those guys are fit, whoever comes in after that, I don't think there's too much between any of those players.
In the midfield, Zeljko, this is where Australia are their strongest.
Abundance of talent there. Like, I mean, we don't lose anything there. That's probably the hardest decision for him to make because someone is going to have to miss out there. And
who is going to miss out of this group?
Who knows?
Look, it depends what system we end up playing. Like everyone's talking about the systems, and if he plays two as a holding midfielders and three behind the one striker, Harry, obviously. You know, I'd be playing with Bresh on the left, Timmy Cahill and Brett Emerton, but I'm not the coach.
Zeljko, you've been part of a World Cup training camp. Give us an inside view, if you will, of what happens from here until the first ball is struck in a month's time.
Look, I think it's going to be different this time. Everyone knows how hard our preparation was last campaign. Gus really run the rule over us and we were fit, and that's probably why we got through a lot of games at the end of the match, because we were fitter and stronger than the other teams. Whereas this year the players are 4 years older. You can't probably do the same preparation because you'll break them down before we go into the World Cup, and we already know that we're short of players, short of those players with experience to go into a tournament like this. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit difficult, but he needs to get them. I heard they're going to do individual training till the 1st of June to get the players to 90% fit, and then everyone's going to start working together, which is a good idea.
Yeah, a real question of man management, I'm sure. Well, we've heard from the Socceroos manager. Now let's hear from some of the players who are heading down to South Africa. Ty Neve is in Sydney, and he's found some new friends.
Well, thanks, guys. Certainly no rest for the wicket at the moment. Both these Socceroos, both off the plane. Luke, thanks for joining us on World Football News. Lucas, firstly, what a busy time for you guys. Straight off the plane, straight into it tonight.
Yeah, we're obviously putting our footballing excitement to one side tonight for a much-needed charity do for cancer for teenagers, for the youth of Australia, and it's actually good just to be able to focus on something else, because in about 48 hours all the hype and excitement's really going to kick in, and all we're going to be thinking about is getting to South Africa.
Is that right, Luke? I guess the excitement setting in. You're back in Australia. You haven't had time to really soak it in yet, but football fever about to sweep over the country?
Yeah, of course. It's you know, the World Cup has come along quickly. But like Lucas said, tonight we're here for a different cause and a different reason. And but of course we're looking forward to getting into camp and concentrating on our football.
Lucas, let's talk about that camp. I guess 4 years ago, a lot of emphasis on fitness. This time round, a little bit different, you think, under Pim?
Yeah, a lot of emphasis on keeping players fit rather than getting fit. So no, Pim's obviously selected a very good squad, and I'm confident that the guys that he selected will be fighting for those last 23 spots in the next week, and we'll be getting the best training we possibly can, both here and when we get into altitude in South Africa. And I can assure you that since 4 years ago to this day, we haven't been able to stop thinking about the way we exited the last World Cup and the excitement about trying to go one better this time at this World Cup. So there's a lot of excitement and a lot of determination to do well.
New Zealand on Monday night. Is there such thing as a friendly when you take on the Kiwis?
There's no such thing as a friendly, no matter who you play. You know, obviously it's been a long time since we've had such a game, and it's going to be a good game, and it's definitely going to be no holding back.
Lucas, you second that notion, and I guess playing to win against the Kiwis?
Yeah, obviously there's a fierce rivalry between the two nations, but also we're talking about a team that's trying to select a squad and a player that wants to get in the starting lineup in the World Cup, both Australia and New Zealand. So we'll be fighting for places, making sure that we're in our manager's team selection mind. And obviously we're going to South Africa with only 2 weeks left, wanting to be that guy in that team. So lots to play for and a spectacle for the fans of Australia, just to say goodbye, thanks for your support and wish us luck on the way to South Africa.
Pim's quoted in a magazine this week saying that the Socceroos realistically can't win the World Cup. Is that unusual to hear a coach say that, or is he just being realistic?
He's been frankly honest, like he always is, but don't think in the back of the mind he hasn't thought about, you know, what if we get a bit of luck, what if we can do this and that. There just might be an opportunity that we can go all the way, and every player believes that. You go into any game in any tournament wanting to win it, but we have to be very realistic that there is probably 6 or 7 much better teams than us on paper, but I'm sure the Aussie spirit will level 1 or 2 of those games up, and who knows what can happen.
Luke, just 25 days to go. You're always very cool and very still looking, but let's be honest, are you really excited about going over to South Africa and playing, I guess, your second World Cup?
Who wouldn't be? You know, of course, it's part and parcel, being cool and taking it in your stride. But who wouldn't be excited about the World Cup? This is what you dream about since you're a little boy, and especially when you get there. Although on the outside you may look calm and collected, on the inside that heart's pumping, the adrenaline's pumping, and you're very excited. That's for sure.
And Lucas, as captain, do you sort of try and squash that enthusiasm a little bit, or do you kind of bring it out in the players?
I try and keep myself well balanced, but it's understandable for everyone to feel very excited, to want to get started. It's just a matter of controlling that nervous energy to make sure it doesn't turn into mistakes. So look, like Luke said, we're all calm and collected in appearance, but I'm telling you, everybody on the inside is jumping and ready to get going, and I think the sooner we can get on that training pitch, the quicker we'll calm down and just focus on the job at hand.
Well, boys, it's good to see the smiles. It's good to see you out here for a good cause, and we thank you very much for joining us on World Football News. Chris, back to you guys.
Yes, thanks, Ty. You've got to tip your hat to Luke Wilkshire there. He got off the plane from Russia this morning, and he's at a charity event straight away. Let's talk Lucas Neill straight away. Is he one of the cornerstones to the World Cup campaign for the Socceroos?
Yeah, he is. He's got a lot of experience, captain. He's one of the guys who's been there as well in the World Cup, so he's got that experience coming this time around. Look, the first game is against Germany, one of the powerhouses, so they've got to really be up for that one. And to play a big team like that straight up, you need all your experienced guys.
Let me just stop you there for a moment, because we've got some breaking news here with regards to Germany. Michael Ballack, their captain, is out. It has to be a real boost for Australia in the World Cup this year. The Chelsea midfielder limped off during the Blues FA Cup victory over Portsmouth after a tackle by Kevin Prince. An earlier X-ray revealed no broken bones, but a later scan revealed enough damage to sideline him from South Africa. A huge blow for Germany.
Yeah.
A big boost for Australia, I would suggest.
Yeah, I think so. That challenge was a nasty one. He's actually got him with the right foot and then come and clattered him with the left as well, so that looked very nasty. But he's an inspirational captain for Germany. He's going to be a big loss. But
I'm surprised that they've ruled him out this early.
Too early a call?
Still a month before they get to Germany, to South Africa. You would have thought they would have kept him with the side, done as much treatment as possible to see if he could actually make it through, because if nothing's broken, it could be ligament damage, but that's again 3-4 weeks. I'm surprised they've ruled him out already.
It looked to me that the two boys there, Zeljko, just wanted to get on with the job in hand, almost like they're done and dusted about talking about it. They want to get stuck into the preparation. Is that what you wanted to do?
I think the beauty of every player that I've heard speak about the Socceroos, I mean, we're all saying we can't win the World Cup, but the confidence flowing through them, it's brilliant. It's great to hear, because they're going into the tournament, they believe, they know they've got a hard group, but they don't care. The Australian team has never cared who they play against. We believe in our own ability, and they're going to go there and they're going to give us 100%. I mean, as a supporter of football, the whole country, we can't ask for any more than that.
Yeah. OK, thanks a moment, boys, and no doubt we'll discuss continue to discuss that a little bit later on the show, but don't forget we've plenty of A-League news for you coming up after a very short break. Stay with us.